If panic attacks are preventing you from meeting your highest self, you've come to the right place. In this video, I'm gonna outline 7 foolproof strategies to kick your panic attacks to the curb. If we haven't met yet, my name is Itai, and I'm a yoga teacher who helps thousands of students overcome their panic attacks. And I used to have a lot of panic attacks myself way back in the day. And these are the exact habits that freed me from the prison of anxiety. The last tip I'm especially excited about, and I'm sure you've never heard it before, so stick around for that. Step 1, talk to yourself in the mirror. Your thoughts will confuse you, but your voice will never lie to you. And that's why when your brain starts spiraling, your heart rate starts quickening, your body's heating up, and you're feeling anxious, you gotta start speaking out loud. Think of it as ironing out your thoughts. Look yourself in the eye in the mirror and ask your anxiety what it needs. And genuinely meditate on the answer to that question. Whatever your anxiety needs, serve it. Maybe your anxiety just needs some slowness and tenderness. Or maybe it needs to let out a few screams and punch some pillows. You're never giving your anxiety a chance to speak on these things if you don't ask it directly. And that's why I like to start every morning with just talking to myself in the mirror. Just 1 or 2 sentences is enough. And whenever I feel dysregulated, I stand in front of that mirror until I come back to myself, to my own inner peace. Here's an example of how a typical session might look. So pretend I'm looking in the mirror. Hello, my little inner anxiety. I see you and I love you just like I love my gratitude and my joy. And I want to serve you. Please tell me what you need. Then I switch roles as the anxiety. I say, I want you to pay attention to me. I want you to soothe me. And I want you to come back to a place of calm. And then as myself, I say, you know what? I can do that for you. And then I'll start saying some affirmations for myself, like, I am exactly where I need to be. Nothing that's meant for me will pass me by. Every emotion is a gift from the universe and is therefore valid. Let me know in the comments what your favorite affirmations are. The second habit is journaling. And I'm not talking about a little chicken scratch in your notebook for 5 minutes. I'm talking about 20 or 30 minutes because it should go longer than you want it to. Only once you hit a wall and think, oh, I don't know what to write about, do you start unpacking the subconscious triggers behind your anxiety. It's another way to iron out your thoughts and also slow down time, because you can think infinitely fast, but you can only write as fast as your hand can move. Usually that's not as fast as your thoughts. That is gonna slow down your thoughts and make you realize how much space there is between these little blips of anxiety that overwhelm us. And if you don't know what to write about, that's perfect. You just gotta keep writing and keep writing and keep writing. You can even say, I don't know what to write, I don't know what to write, I don't know what to write. Then eventually something will get unstuck from inside you and you will write. It doesn't matter what you write, it just matters that you do write. Transferring your cognition from inside your brain, letting it live on the page. But some good places to start with your journaling is to write down some of your fears and worries, because once you see them written out, they become a lot less scary and even a little bit funny. You can write a visualization of your dream life. You can write a poem that has nothing to do with your life. The options are endless. There are infinite ways to use language and it's up to you to pick. This creative act at the top of every morning will take you out of survival mode and bring you to a place where you are the creator of your reality, not the victim of your reality. The third habit is exercise. Think of exercise as a way to get out of your head and into your body. It regulates your nervous system and it raises your stress threshold. What do I mean by that? Listen, if you start every day with a workout, you push yourself to the limit, you're sweating, it's intense, that is gonna be the hardest thing you do all day. And when you get the hardest thing out of the way at the beginning of the day, and when you inflict it upon yourself, it's gonna be so much harder for external stressors to bug you. Push yourself to a point of healthy cardio stress, muscular endurance stress, so that interpersonal stress doesn't faze you. It's also gonna force you to focus on your breath, and I think breath is anxiety's worst enemy. If you can breathe slowly and deeply, then anxiety cannot coexist in that space. Anxiety simply cannot coexist with slow, deep, long, powerful breaths. Because anxiety is a manifestation of the sympathetic nervous system, the adrenal part of your nervous system, which gets you ready for action, ready to do fight or flight mode. But slow, long, deep breaths are agents of the parasympathetic nervous system, which relaxes your body, getting you ready to rest and digest and calm down. Also, exercise releases endorphins, dopamine, oxytocin, and a whole lot of other hormones that combat anxiety. And the best part is it doesn't matter what you do. If you like to run, you could run. If you like to lift weights, you could do that. But you could dance, you could swim, you could do cartwheels. Anything that's moving your body counts. And the more fun it is, the better. Number 4 is meditation. Choosing stillness by meditating is a profound act of rebellion against the systems that want to keep you distracted and mentally unwell. And there's so many different ways to meditate, but for right now, I'm going to recommend a mantra during meditation, which I alluded to earlier, which is simply 3 words: space between thoughts. Sit down with a straight back, close your eyes, put a 5-minute timer on your phone, and just repeat mentally the phrase space between thoughts. That is going to make you realize that you are not your thoughts. You are the observer of your thoughts and actually the creator of your thoughts. So often we use escapism like substances or content or hanging out with that one toxic homie to avoid dealing with our feelings and confronting our thoughts. But meditation is the way to invite your thoughts, invite all the difficult feelings, and let yourself know that you're not afraid of them. And when you're meditating, just tell yourself, I can always come back here. Because ain't that a fact? You can always come back to meditation. It doesn't matter where in the world you are, doesn't matter what you have. All you need is shut eyes and a focused mind. And I especially recommend meditation whenever you feel a little sprinkle of anxiety coming up. One of my favorite quotes is, listen to your body whisper so you don't have to hear it scream. And when in that first moment of anxiety, you tell yourself, okay, I gotta listen to this, I gotta sit down and close my eyes and confront it, let meditating in those difficult moments be your way of confronting anxiety before it gets bottled up, suppressed, compounded, and turns into a huge, scary monster that you're too intimidated to deal with. Nip it in the bud. That is gonna give you greater control over your emotions and prevent anxiety overall. And most of the time, panic attacks are just those moments where we've suppressed anxiety so much that it has to explode out of us like a volcano. But if you meditate regularly, you will avoid those eruptions. Not only that, but you'll no longer be scared to look at the feeling. One of the most basic definitions of meditation is to become familiar with something. So become familiar with your anxiety and all your emotions. The fifth thing is to connect daily with loved ones. Even if you live alone, a quick FaceTime goes a long way. If you live in a house with somebody you love, wake up early so you get a chance to have a conversation with them before the day gets away from you. That is going to foster a sense of safety, belonging, and support. Anxiety is often very similar to helplessness, but when we remind ourselves that there are people in our lives that care about us and want us to be healthy, we'll be less convinced when our brain tells us, all right, now it's time to be anxious. A lot of the time we get into this pattern of thinking our emotions are a burden we're putting upon others, but it's not true. Anybody who truly loves you and cares about you wants to help you transmute low energy into high energy. So lean on them, just like Bill Withers said. It is scientifically proven that social interaction does make you live longer. So does giggling and telling jokes and laughing and smiling. We don't usually think about chilling with the homies as medicine, but it is a medicine as powerful, if not more powerful, than drugs. If anxiety has you feeling like you're on an island, then you gotta talk to the people around you to realize that you are not separate from anything else in this world. The ultimate cure for anxiety is realizing the interconnectedness of all life. And what better way to do that than talking to the people who you hold closest to your heart? Look into their eyes and see yourself. Use their joy as a mirror. And if they're going through it too, then help them out. And you'll be teaching yourself a lesson in the process. Number 6 is observing circadian rhythms. I'm talking about morning routine, I'm talking about evening routine, and the sleep that you get in between. This is mainly about hormone regulation, right? So in the morning, we want a little bit of cortisol. In the evening, we want a little bit of melatonin. That is gonna regulate your emotional well-being and your homeostasis overall. Check my channel for more specific videos about morning and evening routine, but what I'll say right now, best thing to do in the morning is to look up at the blue sky as soon as you wake up. Don't look directly into the sun, of course, but look at the sky, whether it's overcast or clear, in order to get that blue light into your eyes. It's gonna boost your cortisol and get you ready for the day. Exercise is also great in the morning. I love to just jump in place for 60 seconds. Or as I mentioned earlier, journaling, talking to yourself in the mirror, talking to a loved one, meditating, all great things to do in the morning. In the evening, I recommend avoiding blue light from screens and eating food for a few hours before you go to sleep. That is gonna decrease your cortisol and boost your melatonin, preparing you for deep rest. Also great to meditate in the evening, do some gentle yin yoga in the evening, like child's pose, happy baby pose, legs up the wall pose. I love doing yoga nidra before bed. Check my page for some yoga nidra guided videos. That is gonna improve your sleep, energy, and emotional resilience. I do believe that every mental block corresponds to a knot in our physical body, but taking care of your body is just not about jogging and lifting weights. It's about what you eat, it's about how much you sleep, and it's about the media you consume. And speaking of the media you consume, number 7 is creation over consumption. It's a new initiative I'm starting this year where I simply try to create more than I consume. So here's how I do it. Every time I wanna scroll on my phone, watch a YouTube video, watch TV, I put on a stopwatch. When I'm done, I stop the stopwatch. Then I look at how much time is on that stopwatch, and I make a vow to create for longer than that. And by create, I mean film videos like this, write in my journal, write a song, do a watercolor, dance around my room, make conversation, take notes on a book I'm reading. You can be creative in a million ways. That's what makes it creative. But when you create more than you consume, you are inviting an abundance mentality into your life. It's gonna make you feel more purpose in life. It's gonna make you feel less existentially lost. And when anxiety comes up, you can transmute it into beautiful art. Put that feeling on the page, bring it out into the world, and let it live on as a creation that can teach other people how to heal. Even if you never show it to anyone and it's just for you, it will be like a therapy session. And if you're dealing with a panic attack, one of the best things to do in the moment is to start creating something. It will once again take you out of the scarcity mindset of survival and into the abundance mindset of creation. It's gonna boost your confidence as somebody with a unique perspective. And it's gonna reduce the overstimulation and mental pollution that we face when we scroll all day long. So there you have it, 7 ways to free yourself of panic attacks. They've worked for me and thousands of other students, and I hope they help you too. Panic attacks can't touch you if you apply these with consistent practice and patience. I'm about to leave you with some links to the rest of my yoga videos, but for now, I wish you a calm and anxiety-free rest of your day. Thank you for taking the time to watch this. Please subscribe if you want more yoga tips. I love you dearly, and I'll see you soon. Peace and love.